Ferrari have had an amazing start to the season so far, but will want to avoid any issues that could halt their title charge. The prancing horse currently sit first and third in the Drivers' Championship, and first in the Constructors' Championship. Charles Leclerc has been the driving force behind the team's success, thanks to 2 race wins and a second-place finish from the opening 3 races. But while things have started well, there are fears that the team might get caught out in the development race if they aren't careful. Let's take a look at what's got Ferrari worried. After the dominant win in the 2022 Australian Grand Prix at the Albert Park circuit, for Scuderia Ferrari, the focus now shifts to the next round of the season, the first in Europe. Formula One heads to Italy, and the Maranello team is looking forward to racing in front of its Tifosi at the Imola circuit. Ferrari says it will not bring any significant updates to its F175 car at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix due to the event's sprint qualifying format. Imola will mark the start of F1's European season, a point in F1's campaign where teams traditionally roll out their first main technical developments. But next week's event, which is the first of 3 sprint qualifying weekends scheduled by F1 in 2022, will feature just one 60-minute practice session before teams head into qualifying on Friday afternoon, which leaves little time for an outfit to properly evaluate a major upgrade. Ferrari team boss Mattia Binotto says that the Scuderia will work at Imola to mitigate the porpoising issues still impacting its 2022 car, but significant updates will be implemented at a later date. I think it'll be a difficult weekend in respect of bringing updates and trying to evaluate them in Friday practice. But you need obviously to focus yourself on the quali of the afternoon, said the Ferrari boss. If we look at ourselves, there will not be much in Imola because again, we believe it will not be the right place. But we will try to mitigate the issues that we have got so far. I'm thinking of the porpoising and the bouncing that has affected our performance over the weekend. So we again try to work on that specific point. But for the upgrades and more, let me say significant ones, it'll be for later on in the season. A normal weekend would give teams 3 60-minute sessions to test the car on. To you and me, that's free practice 1, 2 and 3. The sprint race weekends have a different layout, which means teams have less time to nail in their setup before the competitive racing for the weekend begins. There's only one 60-minute practice session before qualifying for the sprint race. Then the teams get another practice session before the sprint race on Saturday. If you bring new upgrades to your car and can't get the setup dialed in during the 1-hour practice session on Friday, you could potentially ruin your entire weekend. Ferrari's massive efforts last year to field a competitive new generation car in 2022 has so far paid off, with the Scuderia and Charles Leclerc comfortably leading their respective championships. Although Binotto was confident in Ferrari's ability to produce a competitive package, the Swiss engineer is nevertheless surprised by how the Italian outfit has hit the ground running in 2022. "I'm certainly surprised," he said. "I think we worked hard and we put a lot of priority onto 2022. I knew that the team was a great team and we somehow improved ourselves compared to the past seasons. I was hoping to have a competitive car for the start of the season, but certainly I was not expecting such a good start to the season. I think it would be unfair to think that, but I still believe that the differences between us and the others can be very little. I think the past races have proved it, and it'll be a great fight in the next races certainly." The level-headed Charles Leclerc has followed Binotto's lead so far, and insisted it was too early to talk about winning the Drivers' Championship, as Formula One prepares to move to Ferrari home territory in 2 weeks' time. He played down the Ferrari fever, gripping fans ahead of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola on the 24th of April as the Tifosi await to welcome back their team. "I can imagine the excitement in Italy, but I don't want to think too much about it. It's very early in the season obviously," Leclerc said after his 4th Grand Prix victory. "It's extremely important not to put extra pressure on ourselves and try to overdo things. We're working as a team extremely well since the beginning of the season, and we just need to keep doing our job like we did in the first 3 weekends." As things stand, Leclerc is 34 points ahead of Mercedes' George Russell in second, and Ferrari's F175 is proving itself to be the best car in the field. He's only too aware of the fine work Red Bull have conducted in recent years, however, and remains vigilant they have every chance of closing the gap. Speaking to the media following his victory in Sunday's Australian Grand Prix, Leclerc said, "I know underneath me I have a car that's capable of winning, and I don't really have to overdo things or do something extremely special and spectacular to actually get 1 or 2 positions, because I know it's in the car and I just have to do the job." So the mindset is a little bit different this year. And then to keep up with Red Bull in terms of development will be difficult. But the same team that did this car will work on the development for this year's car, so I am confident. Red Bull are obviously occupying a place in the mind of the Ferrari team. As things stand, Red Bull look to be the closest competitors in the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship. The development race seems to be just beginning for the new regulations, and Ferrari's choice to bring no upgrades to Imola is a brave one, especially when it seems the Red Bull will be making changes. Recent reports have suggested that Ferrari's car sits at around 802 kilograms, 5 heavier than Mercedes and Red Bull. But advisor for the latter, Dr. Helmut Marko, has since indicated that his team may be up to 10 kilograms heavier than the Scuderia. In a bid to counteract the excess weight of the car, Red Bull are planning an upgrade that could improve their lap time by over 0.2 of a second. And the Austrian is confident that, if it works, they can diminish their pace deficit to championship leaders Ferrari. "We will indeed be entitled to an evolution at Imola," Dr. Marko told the media. "If it works as well as the first one, and if we can reduce the weight, we can put a package on par with Ferrari." What the Milton Keynes side are desperate for, though, is reliability. And Max Verstappen labelled his 2 reliability-related retirements in the opening 3 rounds of the year as unacceptable. Red Bull appear to have eradicated the porpoising that has been brought about by the new ground effect aerodynamics due to the upgrades they introduced between the pre-season tests in Barcelona and Bahrain. It is worth noting that Ferrari appeared to be the worst sufferer of porpoising in Australia. Despite that, they were by far the fastest car on the grid, which bodes well for them when they do find a fix. If the upgrades Red Bull are planning to bring to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix are effective, it could well signal the beginning of their fight back in 2022. A Red Bull win at Imola, Ferrari's spiritual home, would be a big statement from them. Beating Ferrari on their own soil will anger Ferrari fans as well, who have spent years now watching the team underperform. It is said that Red Bull's planned weight reduction will cost them around £212,000 per kilogram, which means that a spending total of around 1.7 million will be required to remove all the excess weight they are carrying. Helmut Marko has already suggested that Red Bull may even be quicker than Ferrari at Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix if their plans to upgrade the RB18 are successful. Ferrari is a car that has always proved to be fast in all conditions and regardless of asphalt temperature or tyres, said Marko. "Our machine is certainly more complex to fine-tune, but in Imola, we'll present ourselves with a weight loss. This should give us a significant advantage in terms of timing." With Helmut Marko sounding confident and Mattia Binotto not wanting to get ahead of himself by saying the team can perform over the whole season, it's tough to judge what is going to happen going forward. Ferrari will be nervous that after so long struggling to compete, they might see this golden opportunity slip away from them. We won't know until Italy just how big a change the Red Bull upgrade will make, but Ferrari will be hoping their early lead will be intact after round 4 of the 2022 Formula 1 season. Should Ferrari be worried about what Red Bull can bring to Imola? Or will the power of the Tifosi push them to another race win? Let us know in the comment section down below what you think. And on your way out of our pit box, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that notification bell to be sure you don't miss out on any of our content. Till we see you next time, drive safe and bye bye.